You have the sensation that an invisible weight is pulling you further into the muck. The deeper you go, the more difficult it becomes. Initially reaching your ankles, this weight gradually grows to your knees and neck. Finally, it makes breathing more difficult. Your once free self, who used to run and walk, is now merely a shadow, a silhouette that will quickly vanish into the swamp. If you fit this description, you are fighting a spiritual battle while being surrounded by narcissists who exploit you. The selected one's light is what the narcissist's insatiable ego craves, since it exposes the darkness they're making such an effort to conceal. They try to put it out, to absorb the energy. Watch the full video multiple times. If you want to drive out the darkness, the chosen one's payment for this spiritual war is a never-ending tiredness. The belief that they are up against something far more powerful than damaging remarks. Everything is originally shrouded in a seductive fantasy. You are surrounded by an enticing charm, genuine smiles, and commendations that appear genuine. However, this is only the first trap. There's more to you than meets the eye. According to the narcissist, they sense the chosen one's inner strength, the spiritual spark that distinguishes you and links you to something greater. This is the flame they are attempting to extinguish in order to dim your brightness, to deplete your life force. The narcissist depletes the chosen one's energies with a sinister, even supernatural power. Have you ever wondered why you feel so exhausted around certain people? Like if something is pulling you down and making every thought and movement seem like a huge struggle. Narcissists take advantage of your insecurity and helplessness. They force you into a state of mental anarchy in which your own senses turn against you. The world warps reality, tearing it apart, and you begin to doubt your sanity and recollections. Separating the chosen one from their own essence and separating you from your inner strength helps them to win, and they want you to believe that you can no longer trust yourself for them. Every uncertainty that is revealed is a victory and one step closer to perfect control. Nothing happens by coincidence when they are around. Each movement and pause is meticulously planned. They are fully aware of your shortcomings, where to attack, and which wounds remain open. The fact that they accomplish all of this while grinning only adds to the bizarreness. They may appear to be lambs, but they are hungry wolves ready to devour any sense of your self-worth. The narcissist can injure the chosen ones without having to yell with razor-sharp accuracy. They use words to pierce your concerns and make you question all you believe about yourself. And as you strive to maintain the peace, they create chaos, reverse the tale, and play the victim, all to isolate themselves from you, to make you believe that you are the problem. But in reality, the genuine battle is with the destructive force they unleash on your spirit. You begin to question who you are because it feels as if a shadow is swallowing you and suffocating your light. Despite your best efforts to set boundaries and distance yourself, an unseen force draws you back and keeps you trapped in this destructive dance. Furthermore, this strength is spiritual rather than emotional, because this war is about energy, the conflict between light and darkness, who you are and who they want you to be. A damaged, weakened version created by pain and control. Rather than just using harsh words or cold tactics, they enclose the chosen one in a cloud of uncertainties and fears, and every attempt to break free appears to only drag you deeper into this hole. True chaos. Architects are narcissistic. They methodically design each layer of deception, masking their true objectives with warm and attentive actions. However, they also destroy your reality, leaving you adrift in a maze of false promises and lies. To keep you locked and give you the feeling that you are the problem, They surround the chosen one with subtle negative remarks that constantly devalue them, and when you finally react, they accuse you of being the aggressor. In the midst of all this chaos, you begin to question your own sanity, ability to discern the truth, and your own identity. The best approach for a narcissist to control their victim is to make them believe that they are to blame for all problems, arguments, and crises. They do it so well that you start to feel the embarrassment as if it were yours. You're constantly apologizing, attempting to make things right, and striving to better. It's never enough though, since no matter how hard you work or try, they'll always find a new flaw, a new reason to criticize or belittle you, because you're unable to understand the genuine situation while trapped in a vicious loop of self-criticism. They want the chosen one to feel insignificant, guilty, and unworthy. You fail to recognize that the person who controls, manipulates, and destroys you is the genuine perpetrator. The narcissist's assault is a genuine spiritual struggle, not just an emotional one. They are envious of your strength and brilliance. They try to cast this light on you in order to make you believe that you are inconsequential, that you do not deserve pleasure, and that you will never be enough, because they cannot bear the sight of someone so connected and satisfied with themselves. But understand that you were never the problem, since they know they will never have what you have. They attack because they believe the chosen ones can. It consumes them because they do not have access to the light and spiritual connection. They want to get rid of anything that constantly reminds them of their own flaws and destroy what they cannot have. The sensation of exhaustion is both dreadful and genuine. Every time you interact with them, it appears that a small portion of your happiness and peace is snatched away from you. You are being spiritually drained, vampire, dark, and positive from within, leaving only a shell of your previous self. That is exactly what is happening place. When you notice it, you're so exhausted and disoriented that you can't respond. Fortunately, there is still time. The chosen one must first recognize that you are not on an equal footing and that this confrontation is unfair. They spend their entire lives preparing to destroy while you shine. Even if it is weaker, your light is more powerful than whatever darkness they may bring in this conflict. The chosen one isn't fighting alone. This is something that many people have and continue to endure, and you can leave despite all of the pain and uncertainty. However, you must understand that this is a true war and that these people are seeking to destroy your faith. In addition to producing discomfort, they want to see the chosen one in a state of brokenness, sorrow, and darkness. But you cannot let that happen. Your essence and spirit are far more potent than any poison they may extract. You can win, even if it seems impossible right now, because you have always been stronger than they are. You can restore your strength, brightness, and peace, and it is the reality they are terrified of. Although it is tough to accept, you begin to notice the signs. How can someone who claims to love and appreciate you be the one who hurts you the most? Despite the enormous dissonance, narcissists are possessive rather than loving. Their purpose is to dominate you, empty you to the point where nothing remains, and then discard you without regret. When there is nothing left to steal, it appears that you never meant anything. Although the chosen one's pain is excruciating, it proves that you have a soul, which they will never have if the chosen one attempts to flee. The conflict becomes more severe. You feel as if an unseen force is seeking to bind you. They become more aggressive when they think you want to run and are afraid of losing control. Unexpected phone calls, intrusive messages, and false promises of change are all designed to entice you back and trap you in a vicious loop. And the loneliness can be so unbearable that you consider giving up. But remember that this is war, not love. The battle is both with and against the demonic powers channeled by narcissists. They act as conduits for negative energy, draining your vitality and clouding your spiritual perspective. There are times when the chosen one feels as if they are up against something far stronger than themselves. In reality, narcissists are excellent at creating toxic environments in which your spirit feels imprisoned in faith and hope seem to drift away like mist in the morning. You endure emotional confusion, mental exhaustion, and physical discomfort. It's similar to being stuck in a maze with no way out. However, keep in mind that knowledge is only the first step toward finding a solution. Recognize the indications. Recognize that this discomfort is a warning, not a punishment. Your spirit is crying out for freedom and protection. The chosen one is not alone in the true spiritual battle. Whatever barriers they try to throw in your path, your inner strength will overcome them. Like an ever-present shadow, doubt descends. You start to doubt your sanity. Am I the problem? Am I being overdramatic? These uncertain seeds are sown and nurtured with misleading strategies until you believe you are entirely default. The narcissist's most powerful tactic is to make you doubt yourself, undervalue yourself, and remain silent. Don't be misled, however. This is a technique employed in combat to help win the war. If you found it useful, you can support us with super thanks up to $20 and join our membership. The selected one must first acknowledge it, since it is simple to close your eyes, pretend nothing is wrong, and believe the problem is merely temporary. Admitting that you are in a spiritual struggle and that this individual is seeking to extinguish your light is an act of bravery. But your essence and soul are on the line. Even if confronting this fact is uncomfortable, it is the only way to begin the path of self-liberation. Nobody is better at manipulating others. Narcissists exploit the vulnerabilities of their chosen ones. Twist your words. Controlling your emotions and making you feel awful for stuff you didn't do. They misinform you, make you feel insignificant, and distort reality. They are the masters of deception, and you are a piece in their terrible game. However, you possess far more power than you believe. Thus, you are not a pawn. Their resistance strengthens as you gain a better understanding of what is going on. They will try to intimidate, embarrass, and silence you because they are frightened of being exposed to you. Seeing the truth about yourself, discovering the truth about others. They will not accept you escape their hold or the chosen one recovering their position of leadership. As a result, they strengthen their attacks and utilize more twisted techniques. But that's when you need to get stronger before proceeding. If your journey as a chosen one has been challenging and lonely, our ebook may provide the answers you need. It is a practical guide to understanding your gifts, overcoming obstacles, and connecting with your larger goal. In addition, you will have access to our Discord community, where you will not be alone. This is a secure environment where you may connect with other chosen ones who understand what you're going through and will offer genuine support. The first pinned comment contains a link to additional information. Manipulation extends beyond words. It reaches the soul. You become imprisoned in a loop of emotional dependence, with each gesture and word from them entangling you further. They know how to hold the chosen captive, enticing you with false promises and trapping you with memories of happy times, and you cling to the crumbs, believing that all will return to normal. However, nothing was real. They built an illusion, and you became lost in it. You feel little, as if you're shrinking inside yourself. It appears that your light is progressively disappearing. However, the feeling of tiredness and emptiness is a reflection of the spiritual battle you are fighting. The chosen one's soul is fighting to break free and emerge from the shadows. And this struggle is strong, brutal, and vital. Because each time you rise or resist, you increase your essence. Sometimes you just want to give up. It appears that the anguish is too intense and the perplexity is terrible. But it is just what they want. They want to see you broken. They want to feel powerful after being defeated. But you can't let that happen because, despite the darkness, the chosen one shines, and your light is still waiting to be reignited. Every stride you take towards truth, towards liberation, is an act of defiance, of bravery. They are excellent at setting up emotional traps. Every time you try to get away, they bring you back. They turn your words against you, rewrite history to make you question what occurred. It's a terrible circle, an invisible prison that appears impossible to escape, but the key to freedom lies inside you. It takes guts to confront the truth, the agony, and to stand up and say enough. The pain you feel is not unique to you. It speaks to the souls of so many others who have been through similar experiences and are still bound in this cycle of abuse and deception. Your struggles are not in vain. Every stride taken by the chosen one toward liberation serves as a beacon for those who remain lost in the darkness. You are stronger than you realize, and your strength extends beyond yourself. It inspires. It guides. It illuminates the way for others. You start to realize that this struggle is far deeper than you thought. It's more than just a battle with a narcissist. It's a battle between the darkness they bring and the shadows that try to surround you. Silence. You destroy yourselves. And this awareness changes everything because you realize that no matter how difficult the effort is, it is vital. It is a purification, an awakening, and a significant alteration. The chosen one's spiritual struggle is not fought solely with physical power or emotional endurance. It requires something more profound, the reconnecting to your essence or inner light. It is a healing process that involves restoring one's actual identity. And it all starts with understanding who you truly are, the strength you have, and the light that still shines within you even when everything seems lost. This is your most powerful weapon, understanding of your own strength. The narcissist's manipulation is so subtle that you have no idea how much you are being controlled. They distort reality and make you question each move. Every comment and doubt undermines your confidence, making you feel smaller and more powerless. However, you must recognize that this is not your doubt. It was planted. It is a tool for control, a means to keep you hostage and imprisoned. And once you realize this, you start to restore your power. Because in reality, the chosen one was aware of everything that was going on. You only needed to reestablish your belief in yourself. The anguish is intense, but it is also a call to transformation. You feel as if you are losing control over your own life. As if every time you attempted to flee, something drew you back into the darkness. However, keep in mind that you are more than just a spectator in this struggle. You're a warrior. Every year, every moment of misery is another step toward your own liberty. Because the suffering is cleaning. Everything that doesn't belong to you. Everything was put on you to limit you and make you forget who you truly are. Narcissists have an almost hypnotic ability to make their chosen one feel bad for actions they never committed. They blame you for their mistakes, difficulties, and the darkness they carry. And you, with your sensitive heart, take on this guilt as if it were your own. But it isn't. They cast their own shadows and flaws onto you because they are unable to confront their own darkness. True emancipation starts when you quit bearing this burden. You are not responsible for carrying the weight of their shadows. You're wondering why all of this is happening to you. It appears unjust, unbearable. It's as if you're paying too much for who you are. But the truth is that this struggle, as harsh as it may appear, is shaping, strengthening, and preparing you for something far greater. Because narcissists do not target average people. They target individuals who possess a unique brightness, an inner strength that threatens their own survival. They sense your light, your connection to something more, and it fills them with rage and envy. However, it also signifies you are powerful. The chosen one is strong, even when they feel as if they are crumbling. Every minute of sorrow, every tear, every restless night demonstrates your strength and endurance. You are up against not only a toxic human being, but far darker powers that seek to destroy your light. And yet, you are still here, battling, still breathing. This demonstrates that your light is indomitable and that nothing can completely harm you. They may try to break you down and make you doubt yourself, but your essence, your inner strength, is indestructible. Narcissists have the bizarre ability to masquerade themselves as victims. They invert the roles and make you feel like the aggressor, the insensitive one and the guilty one. They cry, they begged, they try everything possible to persuade you to doubt your own vision. But it's only another mask. When they cry, this is not true regret, another attempt at control. They understand that the chosen one has a nice heart, that they care, and they use this against you. But don't be tricked. The true victim is you, who is caught in this vicious circle. The influence is so subtle that the chosen one begins to distance themselves from people who actually love them. Friends, family, everyone becomes aloof as the narcissist tells you that they do not understand you and are the problem. And when you isolate yourself, you begin to believe that you are alone and that no one cares. If you found it useful, you can support us with super thanks up to $20 and join our membership. They win when you become more vulnerable. It is easier to regulate. However, the selected one isn't alone. There are individuals that love you and want to help you. Don't allow their darkness blind you to this. Narcissists are masters at keeping you locked in the past. They remind you of happy memories and unfulfilled promises, the idealistic future that will never occur. And you cling to those memories, those hopes, as if they were the only true thing. But they are only illusions. The narcissist survives by instilling false optimism and trapping you in an ongoing loop of shattered expectations. And the more you hold to it, the more control they have over you. When you let go, you begin your journey toward liberation. When you realize that your history cannot define who you are today, the path to freedom becomes less linear. And they are well aware of this. Every step you attempt to pull away and free yourself is met with a counterstrike. They bombard you with promises, excuses, and vows to change. And the selected one, with a pure heart, wants to believe and give them another chance. But that is part of the cycle. They will never change because they are unwilling to change. What they desire is control, manipulation, and the feeling of power that comes from perceiving you as submissive. True, change can only occur when you decide that enough is enough and you will no longer be persuaded by these lies. The conflict is both psychological and spiritual. It's not simply about physically separating yourself from cutting contact. It is about releasing the invisible cords, the emotional and spiritual ties that continue to bind you. This demands courage, tenacity, and an unyielding determination to heal and reconnect with your genuine self. Because the war is not only against a person, but also against forces that seek to keep you in the dark. The only way to win is to reignite your inner spark. Even when they are not present, their voice can be heard in the brains of the selected. You are repeating horrible words they said and believing the lies they told you. And this keeps you trapped, even after the relationship has ended, because the true battlefield is your thoughts and heart. They establish seeds of doubt, anxiety, and shame that sprout even after you believe you've emancipated yourself. However, these seeds can be uprooted, and the first step is to acknowledge that these voices are not your own. They're theirs. There are days when everything seems like a never-ending nightmare. You feel fatigued and dejected, as if you are fighting an invisible enemy who is always one step ahead. But know that you are not alone. There is a bigger force that guards the chosen one who leads you. This strengthens you, and no matter how black the route appears now, there is light at the end of the tunnel. You'll make it. You've gone through so much. You've fought so many battles. This is just another one. And like the others, you will triumph with each step you take toward freedom. You regain a part of yourself. Each small win counts. Every small accomplishment is a reclaiming of your spirit, your light, and your own self. Because deep down you understand who you are. They strive to erase and break you. But they couldn't. You're still here. And each time you stand up, fight, or say no to them, you are ascending, rebuilding yourself. And each piece you regain represents a portion of your true power, your true nature. The path to total emancipation is not simple, but each conflict develops your spirit. You recall when everything seemed to be falling apart and breathing felt like a Herculean effort. But here you are, reading this, seeking answers and strength. That demonstrates that despite everything, you still believe. Still fighting, you have a resiliency that no narcissist or darkness can destroy. And every time you resist, every time you choose to stand up, you defeat not only the narcissist but all of the shadows that seek to consume you. It takes bravery to confront the truth about who they are and what they have done to you. Admitting that you were a victim of manipulation or abuse of control is not easy. Pride, fear, and shame all try to keep you from looking at the open wound. But healing begins with allowing oneself to see. When you face your sorrow and say, yes, this happened to me, but I am still here, because simply accepting the hurt, you can begin to regain your power. Every small win, every act of bravery from the chosen one is a cry of freedom, a bursting of the invisible ties they attempted to impose on you. You know that the most difficult challenge is to forgive oneself. Forgive yourself for not realizing it sooner, for trusting in lies, allowing oneself to be manipulated. But you're not to fault. You had no idea you were dealing with a master manipulator, someone who has spent their entire life preparing to break people. So stop blaming yourself. The chosen one. It is not your fault. True strength is found in forgiving yourself, accepting yourself, and allowing yourself to be human. You did your best with what you knew, and now you know how to do things differently. True forgiveness is for you, not for them. It does not imply condoning what they did or lessening the harm they inflicted. It entails releasing the control that this anguish has over you. Because as long as you harbor this rage, resentment, and bitterness, they will continue to control you. Forgiveness is an act of liberty and strength. You're suggesting I chose to be free. I've decided not to shoulder this weight any longer. And by doing so, you open yourself up to healing, peace, and reconnecting with your true self. Pain leaves profound traces, but it also shapes your inner strength. Every scar and bitter memory serves as evidence of the chosen one's survival, to your perseverance. And over time, these scars become emblems of strength and victory. You realize that you are more than simply a victim in a tragic story. You are a hero who rose, battled against the darkness, and survived. Every mark, every healed wound serves as a reminder that, despite your victories, you are still here, stronger, more aware, more alive than ever. Reconnecting with your spirituality is critical in the healing process, whether through meditation, prayer, or touch with nature. It is critical that you find strategies to remove the negative energy and regain your inner peace. Because, in the end, the ultimate battle is not with the narcissist, but with the energies they introduced into your life. You must purify and spiritually strengthen yourself before rebuilding your life on a firm, unbreakable foundation. And gradually, you will notice that you are stronger, more centered, and more connected to your true self. You begin to realize that the narcissist no longer controls you. Their comments, which once affected you so deeply, now appear remote and unreal. You recall the falsehoods and manipulations, but they no longer bother you because you have recovered control of your mind, your heart, your soul. And this is the true victory of the chosen one. They attempted to demolish and shatter you, yet all they accomplished was to awaken a strength inside you that you were unaware you possessed. And now you can be yourself, shine, and live the life you've always desired. The cycle of abuse you've experienced does not define who you are. You are not the harsh words you heard, the doubts they instilled in you, or the lies they told you. You're far more than that. The chosen one is live proof that light can conquer darkness. Even at the darkest moments, hope can arise. And every time you choose freedom, every time you select the truth, you are creating a new story. A story of strength, of resilience, of transformation. A story that inspires those who are still struggling. Remember that narcissists never target the ordinary. They try to be something they aren't. They chose you as a target because they see the potential you possess, the light that comes from you. But now that you know this, you can turn the tables. The chosen one possesses the ability to protect oneself, heal, and thrive again, brighter than ever. I would like to reiterate what I mentioned at the beginning. If you watch this video again, you will be better able to absorb the energy that is pouring towards you. However, if you think this is enough, you should watch the other film that shows on the screen. If you found it useful, you can support us with super thanks up to $20 and join our membership.